Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyrone back with Tech Life. And in today's video, I wanted to talk about Verizon's CDMA shutdown and to see if you guys think it's a bit risky this soon. So originally, Verizon had planned to shut it off at the end of this year, but they extended it until December 31st, 2020. Now, the way it's going to work, of course, it has to go through a transition. And what happens is in Q1, Q2, Q3, on a market per market basis, Verizon is going to start sending out letters to customers that have 3G only devices, or they have 4G LTE smartphones that do not support HD voice or voice over LTE. And then they're going to force that customer out of that device into a newer device that does support it. Now, will they offer a deal? I don't know. That information is not disclosed at this time, but they want to make this happen as fast as possible, which in my opinion leads me to believe that Verizon is very confident that they can go all LTE. The last time I tested Verizon here in this market, they were all LTE about 99.5%. Inside of the mall here, the local mall, there isn't a DAS system inside, and the tower does struggle to get deep indoors downstairs. So Verizon did drop the 3G or CDMA, and then sometimes 1X or no service. So they would have to figure out how they fix that, or they just take the negative rep on that, and the customer just has the bad service just in that spot. But anywhere else, I was pretty much all LTE, pretty much anywhere except that spot. And I know along their coverage, it's a bit risky too at times. A lot of people are saying when they're deep in the middle of nowhere, where there's trees around, they rely on voice using either 1X or 3G with a little bit of data. But Verizon is just going to have to figure that out. And they do spend enough money on a yearly basis to just say, hey, look, we're going to bring a tower closer to that area, and we're going to fine tune it to push it out into that area. So that's just something that Verizon's going to have to do. They will be forced to do if they want to push this out. Now, on the competition level, Verizon is going to be the first carrier to do this 2 years prior to anybody else. The only other company that has announced a shutdown of their older technology this far is AT&T, and AT&T is doing so in 2022. So that would put Verizon 2 years ahead of anybody else. T-Mobile has yet to announce anything because they're still in that pending merger with Sprint. Once that merger is complete, if it does get approved, then of course the CDMA shutdown of Sprint is going to happen almost immediately. And then I think with the integration of networks, T-Mobile is going to shut down the HSPA network and Edge network here within the year or maybe two. The Edge network is still up and running because they got that contract from AT&T at that time, so they still have some devices that are making use of that technology. But that contract, to my knowledge, is getting ready to run out. So T-Mobile will also go all LTE. AT&T, I'm not too confident with just yet to go LTE because they still have a good amount of their coverage that's HSPA only. They are in the middle of conversion to LTE, but they lack density in certain markets. Now, of course, this is on a market per market basis, but they do lack density in some markets. In other markets where T-Mobile and Verizon were forced to add density because of the lack of spectrum that they had, AT&T just didn't have the need as of yet to add density because they had such a high amount of spectrum. So they were able to carry the load that each area was handling with the spectrum. If they were still getting 10 to 20 Mbps, then that was fine for AT&T. But now AT&T going into 5G, in all honesty, I don't think it matters anymore on market share or how many people use the network. You have to bring density with the 5G. With the millimeter wave spectrum, there's just no way around it. You gotta add density because the millimeter wave spectrum doesn't travel that far. So a lot of carriers were basing the market share and how many people were using the network in that area because of the return on investment That's how they were basing their investment in that market, and density and small cells. But now that's out of the window going into 5G, and now the carriers have to spend money no matter where to get that millimeter wave operational as best as they can. So I just want to hear from you guys. Do you guys think this is a very risky move for Verizon to already go pretty much LTE? The CDMA network is going to be as is, according to the document, until the end of 2020. But I'm sure some markets that are like super high LTE availability, they may already have no CDMA as we speak. And to add to the density, Verizon is already adding LTE only sites that are newer, that are not getting any CDMA anymore. So they are gradually increasing the density and the footprint. And in the meantime, anything in 2018 and up probably didn't receive any CDMA anyway that they added into the network. So let me know in the comment section down below if you still have areas. And of course, there are still areas where Verizon struggles. Don't get me wrong. They are slowing down. They do have a much higher network management in terms of the deprioritization, but they are the most ahead of any carrier right now in terms of any technology, such as all LTE. That's a huge step for any carrier. They're the first to do it. They were the first to a large LTE network. They do spend a very high amount on the network each year, so you would expect for Verizon to be the leader in anything going forward. So definitely stay tuned to the channel. Lots more content coming. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe if you're new to the channel. Hit that notification bell so you're notified when I upload content. Also follow all of my social media outlets for more updates. I'm still planning that trip at the end of the month, so stay tuned to the Instagram. I will be uploading some pictures and speed test videos there from Phoenix and San Diego. And this is Tyrone with Tech Life, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.